The air in the Situation Room is suffocatingly dry. You sit at the head of a polished mahogany table. 3 screens illuminate your exhausted face. They show a live thermal feed of a fortified compound in Tehran. The President of the United States looks directly at you. He needs a yes or a no. You hold the intelligence. You hold the target coordinates. You hold the authorization for a lethal Title 50 covert action. If you speak the word, missiles launch. If your human intelligence is flawed, you trigger a global war. At this level, mistakes are measured in millions, not minutes. Your pulse does not elevate. Your hands do not shake. You have been engineered for this exact moment of terrifying pressure. You look at the glowing screens. You wonder how you survived the ascent to this room. You wonder what is left of your original soul. Level 1. You started at the absolute bottom. You were a paramilitary trainee at Camp Peary. They call it the farm. Your identity was immediately erased. You wore sterile, unmarked olive drab fatigues. You earned a GS-10 salary of $60,000. You existed in a state of perpetual exhaustion. Your daily reality was grueling physical degradation. You mastered survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. You learned to pick Medeco locks in total darkness. You constructed covert dead drops using hollowed-out bolts. You learned to lie flawlessly during brutal polygraph interrogations. Your empathy was slowly, systematically dismantled. You were taught to view human beings as operational assets. The psychological shift was violent. You stopped seeing friends. You started seeing vulnerabilities. Your final test was the paramilitary operations course. You survived a simulated hostage scenario. You did not break under mock torture. Others wept and washed out. You stayed silent. You earned your clearance. But as you pack your bags for the new office, you realize the promotion comes with a hidden cost. Level 2. You are now a ground branch operator. You work for the Special Activities Center. Your uniform is local civilian garb. You wear sterile ceramic body armor beneath a loose jacket. You carry no dog tags. You carry no official identification. Your salary bumps to $90,000 with hazard pay. You deploy to denied areas. You operate entirely behind enemy lines. Your daily mechanics involve covert infiltration. You use encrypted SATCOM radios. You paint high-value targets with infrared lasers. You call in kinetic airstrikes from loitering drones. You watch the heat blooms of exploding vehicles. You confirm the kills in the dirt. The psychological toll deepens. You are taking lives invisibly. If you are captured, your government will deny your existence. You will rot in a black site. This was no longer a game. Your crisis arrives during a compromised exfiltration in Somalia. Your extraction chopper takes heavy fire. You coordinate a flawless tactical retreat. You keep your team alive through sheer ruthlessness. The brass notices your cold operational clarity. But as you pack your bags for the new office, you realize the promotion comes with a hidden cost. Level 3. You evolve into a specialized skills officer. You are an SSO. Your apparel upgrades to high-end tactical wear. You wear a Rolex Submariner. You blend into meetings with warlords and arms dealers. Your pay reaches $110,000 as a GS-13. Your weapon is no longer a rifle. Your weapon is a duffel bag filled with unsequential $100 bills. You execute covert influence operations. You fund indigenous proxy militias. You sabotage enemy supply chains without firing a shot. You operate through layers of deniability. You use burner identities. You use encrypted messaging apps on clean devices. You learn the mechanics of bribery. You learn the exact price of a foreign official's treason. Your moral compass shatters completely. You buy loyalty. You manipulate desperate men into risking their lives for you. A critical structural bottleneck hits. Your primary foreign asset gets burned by counterintelligence. He faces execution. You must pivot instantly. You ruthlessly burn a secondary network to protect the primary mission. You leave men to die to save the operation. You succeed. But as you pack your bags for the new office, you realize the promotion comes with a hidden cost. Level 4. You become a case officer. You are a handler at a foreign field station. You wear tailored suits. You maintain a pristine business casual cover. You pose as a diplomat or a telecom executive. You earn $130,000 as a GS-14. Your daily reality is human intelligence collection. You manage human. You master the mice protocol. You exploit money, ideology, compromise, and ego. You run agonizing surveillance detection routes. You spend hours walking through foreign cities. You clean yourself of hostile watchers before every clandestine meeting. You memorize dead drop locations. You memorize brush pass timings. The psychological shift is absolute. You become a sociopathic friend. You study human loneliness. You weaponize trust. You convince foreign officials to betray their homelands. You drink with them. You listen to their marital problems. You record everything. You finally cultivate a high-level mole inside a hostile nuclear program. You extract the holy grail of intelligence. You deliver actionable blueprints to Langley. The operation is a masterclass in psychological manipulation. Your handlers decide you are ready for a station. Level 5. You ascend to Chief of Base. You command a covert outpost in a hostile combat zone. You wear sand-dusted khakis. You keep a Glock 19 on your hip. Your salary hits $150,000 as a GS-15. You are the absolute authority in a lawless region. You manage a sprawling network of informants. You oversee paramilitary strike teams. You sift through raw PRISM surveillance feeds. You coordinate with Joint Special Operations Command. You authorize low-level captures. You authorize kinetic strikes on insurgent leaders. The weight of command settles on your shoulders. You no longer pull the trigger. You order others into the darkness. You write classified letters to the families of ghost soldiers. You explain that their sons died in training accidents. You lie to grieving mothers. Your base comes under a massive, coordinated attack. Mortars shatter the compound walls. You orchestrate a brutal defense. You simultaneously sanitize the classified hard drives. You destroy the cryptographic keys. You save the intelligence architecture. You save the base. Langley elevates you from the dust. Level 6. You are elevated to Chief of Station. You operate at the embassy level. Your uniform is strict diplomatic formal wear. You attend embassy galas. You sip champagne with foreign dignitaries. You enter the senior executive service. You earn $180,000. You control an entire country's intelligence portfolio. You secure the sensitive compartmented information facility. You manage the skiff. You deconflict operations with friendly foreign intelligence services. You smile at the host nation's interior minister. You are actively bugging his private bedroom. You live a total, encompassing lie. The isolation becomes suffocating. The higher you climb, the quieter it gets. You cannot trust anyone outside the agency. A sudden, violent regime change threatens the embassy. The host government collapses. You do not panic. You silently pull the strings of your corrupted political assets. You bribe the incoming military junta. You stabilize the region from the shadows. You avert a massive geopolitical disaster. Your diplomatic cover remains flawless. Washington summons you home. Level 7. You are summoned back to Langley. You are the Deputy Director of Operations. You wear bespoke suits. You walk the secure corridors of the 7th floor. You reach SES Level 3. You earn $200,000 a year. You are the grand architect of global espionage. You authorize black bag jobs across the world. You brief the Oval Office on covert actions. You manage the global dragnet. You oversee thousands of case officers. You view the world through a terrifying macro lens. Individual lives cease to matter. You move dots on a digital map. You calculate acceptable casualty rates for drone strikes. You calculate the geopolitical fallout of assassinated scientists. Your empathy is completely dead. You are a machine of statecraft. A massive global leak occurs. A rogue contractor threatens to expose your deepest black sites. You do not hesitate. You compartmentalize the damage. You execute a ruthless, silent purge of compromised assets. You plug the leak using severe intimidation. You protect the agency at all costs. The 7th floor offers you the red badge. Level 8. You take command of the shadows. You are the director of the Special Activities Center. You wear impeccable tailoring. You wear the coveted red badge. Your salary is $210,000. You command the president's personal shadow army. You control the ground branch. You control the air branch. You control the maritime branch. You execute Title 50 covert actions. You do not gather intelligence. You break things. You kill people. You sabotage economies. You overthrow hostile regimes. You have become the Reaper. This was no longer a game. You are the blade in the dark. You authorize a high-value strike in a densely populated urban center. The target is eliminated. The collateral damage is severe. Innocent civilians are caught in the blast radius. You do not blink. You order the immediate burial of the evidence. You orchestrate a global disinformation campaign. You blame a local terrorist faction for the explosion. You protect the program. You sleep perfectly soundly that night. You have mastered the darkness. The director makes you his right hand. Level 9. You are appointed Deputy Director of the CIA. Your apparel shifts to conservative power ties. You dress for relentless congressional hearings. You earn $226,000. You fight brutal bureaucratic warfare. You shield the agency from oversight committees. You deliver highly sanitized Gang of 8 briefings. You lie directly to the elected officials of your country. You manage a multi-billion-dollar black budget. You fight vicious turf wars with the NSA and the Pentagon. The psychological toll is absolute paranoia. You know the darkest secrets of your own government. You know the sins of your allies. You trust absolutely no one. A major whistleblower emerges. They possess documents detailing illegal domestic surveillance. The threat could dismantle the entire intelligence apparatus. You cannot use kinetic force. You use political assassination. You orchestrate a massive smear campaign. You destroy the whistleblower's reputation. You freeze their assets. You bury them in endless classified litigation. You neutralize the threat without a drop of blood. You save the institution. The president hands you the crown. Level 10. You have reached the absolute peak. You are the director of the Central Intelligence Agency. You wear custom wool suits. You walk with a security detail that never blinks. You earn $235,000. You hold total informational supremacy. You deliver the presidential daily brief. You dictate the reality of the commander-in-chief. You synthesize signals intercepts. You synthesize satellite imagery. You synthesize the betrayals of human spies. You manage a global empire of secrets. The paranoia is permanent. You know the exact dates of impending terrorist attacks. You know which allied leaders are stealing from you. You know how close the world is to midnight. At this level, mistakes are measured in millions, not minutes. The higher you climb, the quieter it gets. And it is dead silent at the top. A preemptive nuclear strike scenario emerges. A rogue state is fueling a ballistic missile. You sit in the situation room. The president demands a verdict. You look at the thermal feed. You must make the call. You authorize the sabotage operation. You gamble the survival of the human race. You win. The missile detonates on the pad. The world sleeps safely. They will never know your name. You look down from the very peak of the pyramid. You hold unimaginable global power. You dictate the rise and fall of sovereign nations. You command an invisible army. But you weigh this immense prestige against the terrifying cost. You have no true friends. You have no authentic human connection. You have lied to every person you have ever loved. You have traded your soul for the security of the state. You are a ghost, inhabiting a tailored suit. You have protected the world from burning, but in the process, you have entirely burned yourself away. You don't exist, but your mistakes will start World War III.